Hello everyone, my name is Shreyas Shevale. Today we are going to look at what is a Docker and its some practical demonstration. Okay, so many times as a developer we came across a problem which is called, we can say, it runs on my machine but it isn't running on yours. So to solve such a problems, the Docker is here to help us. So Docker basically isolate our application and its required environment, which consists of its dependencies, libraries, even its database, uh, and any core libraries for that, and gather them into a container so that container can run on any machine. So for that, to Docker, there are three components which are Docker client, Docker host, and Docker registry. Docker client, which can be used to interact with users. Here we are going to use a Docker desktop. Docker host, which is a core isolating and underlying technology for the Docker, which consists of Docker daemon. And Docker registry is a cloud platform where all the images are stored basically. Okay, whenever we run a Docker build command, it is communicated with Docker daemon and it's create the images. Docker pull is the same, which communicate with the daemon and goes to the Docker registry and pulls the image specified to our local machine. And whenever we run Docker run, the daemon respond to it and it creates the container from the image. Okay, so let's also, there are three important things which are Docker compose file, Docker file, and volumes. Okay, so volumes are used to store the data, or we can say any process done over the containers. Then Docker file is used to build the image of our application, where all the specific environment and specifications are mentioned over that file. Okay, and Docker compose file used to run the container or create a container from the given image. After that, let's look at the Docker desktop. So this is a Docker desktop. Here we can see container, images, volumes. Here are some volumes which I have used. Then images. Here I have one Postgres image which is a 15.4 test container, hello world, and this one is my image. Okay, and here one is a container. So here we are in our terminal. Let's create one container from our image. So basically, as I have already shown you, I have one image which is a Postgres 15.4 version. So I will just create a container. For that I will use a run command, docker run -d. So here are some specifications which I am giving for a Docker run. So basically this one I'm using is a Postgres. Postgres is a database. Okay, so -d I'm using for a detached mode. Okay, I'm using it detached mode. Okay, so after that I'm giving its name. So name will be I want to, whatever I want to give to my container. So let's Postgres -Shreyas. Okay, after that let's say for a database we need password and ID. So these required things can vary over the images. For Ubuntu it may be different, for Postgres is a different, for Alpine or anything it can be different, for Nginx can also be different. So -e is an environment variable. So let's I'm giving my database username which is a Shreyas. Okay, then let's give password which is a, let's say, password. Okay, and here at last I'm specifying the image which is Postgres 15.4. okay, so we can see our container is created. So let's look docker ps. Okay, so here we can say the image is used for 15.4, container ID is this one. So let's jump into our container. Okay, here we are not present inside the container. So to go inside a container we will use execute command. So we will docker exec means execute. After that -it. It means interactive mode. We want to interact with our image. Okay, so after that our image number, okay, so which is 19A at last. a. Okay, and in which mode, like bin bash is just a terminal manner in which we want to interact with it. Okay, so here we are inside container, which is a Postgres container running our machine. So let's say I want to connect to my database. Okay, PSQL -u Shreyas is my database. Okay, so this will say that it is not present. So for that, I will connect to a default database. Okay, here we can see we are inside our Postgres database. So if I say /d or /t, so tuples only is on. These are just database things, or I can also /l so to see the required created database. So you can see here is a Postgres database template 0, or I can say create customer. Okay, -l. Okay, so we can see I have created one database. So let's not jump into this part. This is a database part. So just I showed you how I can connect and create a container from our Docker image. So if I just want to exit from that image, so just type exit and you will be exited from that running container. Okay, so docker ps. So this is the container I have created. Okay, so after that I will show you the container registry. So this is a Docker hub. Here I have created my own account, and when I go for explore tab, here we can see many images present. So here one is a Nginx server image present, Ubuntu image, Python image, Postgres, this image which I have used. Okay, right. So here they give the reference how we can use those images up and running. Okay, so here they have given -- name. These are the environment variables which I have used for now. Okay, if we go inside repositories, here is one image present which is mine. I have already uploaded it. So if I want to use that image, here is the commands which are already given by Docker. Okay, so let's say I have that image here, and also previously we see here is the Postgres container which at last I have created. So I can delete from this here also. Okay, so at the start of this video, I have also said about Docker Compose to create a Docker files from that our application from our images. Sorry. So if I want to create a Docker file, Docker Compose file, so here we can see one look at our Docker Compose file. Here I have mentioned some container name, image name, environment, which I have given in previously in our command. PG data is the volume, and db data /postgres will be stored. This is the port number. So every image is hosted over some port for our machine. So this one is that. So similarly manner, I have created one Docker Compose file, same for our my container, which is container Shreyas Spring Boot full stack API. Okay, after that there is the image I have given and the database required for that. Okay, and this one is the port. Here my image will be exposed. So it consists of two numbers. Here we can see that the first one is 8088, which is the host machine port, and that host machine port will be mapped to 8080 port of my container. Okay, and here are some other required things for that. So let's say if I execute this Docker Compose file. Okay, so we can see here it is executed, and if I went to the Docker desktop, here my Spring Boot full stack container is running, which consists of Postgres database and Spring Boot full stack. So let's say I want to test that my container is running or not properly. So I will just use postman. Okay, so as I earlier stated, I have mentioned port 88. Okay, 88 will be mapped to 8080 of the container, right, from my host to container slash the this is my controller for that. where it is exposed, and if I send the request, it will give me some info, which is this data present inside my container. Okay, so similarly I can also check that over here, localhost colon 8088/API/v1/ okay, here. So this all JSON file data is coming from my container. Okay, so let's say if I want to stop my container from that, here I can stop it. Okay, so if I have stopped the container, let's just again refresh this, and here we can see the site is can't be reached. Okay, because I have stopped my container. That's it. There are many other commands which we can further go, but it is not in the scope of this video. So let's just stop here. If you have any doubts, you can comment in the video. Thank you.